Okay, so let's look at some examples over here. So it says convert the polar coordinates 2 pi over 6 into rectangular coordinates. So when I look at this guy, let's plot it first. Uh, pi over 6 is going to be in this direction right there. Oh, that's too thick. Pi over 6 is going to be in this direction right here. That's pi over 6. And I want to go out a distance of 2. So when I go out a distance of 2, I go 1, 2 out like there. That gives me this point right there. So this is 2 times pi over 6. That's in polar coordinates. Okay. So I'm going to use those conversion formulas. So I got x is equal to r cosine theta. That's equal to 2 times cosine of pi over 6. Cosine of pi over 6 is rad 3 over 2, so this will be 2 times rad 3 over 2. That's equal to rad 3. What's the y value? The y value is r sine theta. That's equal to 2 sine of pi over 6. That's equal to 2 times 1/2. That's equal to 1. So my xy point, that's going to be equal to rad 3, 1. Does that make sense to everybody? Let's look at another example. It says, convert the rectangular coordinates 1, 1 into polar coordinates. Okay. So in this case, my x is equal to 1. My y is equal to negative 1. Let's find the r value first. So r squared is going to be equal to x squared plus y squared. That's equal to, that tells us that r is equal to the square root of 1 squared plus negative 1 squared. That's going to equal to rad 2, right? I want to figure out the angle. So I know that tangent of theta is equal to negative 1 divided, well, let me use the formula. That's equal to y divided by x, which is equal to negative 1 divided by 1. Okay. So that's equal to negative 1, right? So I know that my tangent of theta, is equal to negative 1, right? So what angle is that going to be? Well, I know that tangent of pi over 4 is equal to 1. So, and we know that tangent is odd. That means that tangent of negative pi over 4 is also equal to, it's going to be equal to negative 1 because tangent is odd. Okay. So what this tells me is, that my angle theta is equal to negative pi over 4. Right. So how is that going to look on our graph? So the direction of negative pi over 4, let me make this even thinner. The direction of negative pi over 4 is this way. This is negative pi over 4. And I want to go out a distance of rad 2. A distance of rad 2 is like, is that 1.7? Or is it 1.4? Oh, 1.4 maybe. So then we'll put that right here. Okay. So that point right there is rad 2, comma, negative pi over 4. All right, so those are those examples.